Hello and welcome back to Kislev, folks. HeirofCarthage here, and we are going to be continuing our efforts to spread the motherland and, well, really win the race to the Forge of Souls at this point, because there's no other way to play the game. Speaking of, patch coming out. We don't know exactly when yet, but, there's going to be a patch coming out. I think they said early April. I don't know, we'll see. So a patch coming out, and, man, I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to have the Steam Workshop. Some top mods I'm going to be looking for. I'd love to see unit mods, obviously adding units into the game, but I'd love to see someone mod the Soul Race out. Now, I think CA is doing good things to... Personally, I'm okay with the Soul Race. I'm a little tired of it because I've played like 7 or 8 campaigns in a row, like some on screen, some on my free time, all with the Souls Race. So I don't think the Souls Race is bad. I'm a little tired of it, though. I'd love to see someone make a mod where you could play a sandbox campaign on the current map. I know you can in multiplayer campaigns, which is cool, but I'd love to see someone make a mod for that. But it does look like CA is going to make some good changes to the Souls Race, which are going to make things way more viable. I'll cover that in a little more detail whenever they get some patch notes out, and we have all the specifics on what it is that they're going to change. They did let us know, though, ahead of time, some of the things they had in mind, and honestly, it looked good. It looked like it wasn't exactly the way that I would have done things, but that's not really what I'm requiring from CA, right? Not everybody wants what I want anyway. So yeah, anyway, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a nice change. And in fact, some people, I still get questions every now and then from people, well, Air, what do you think about Warhammer 3? Because I know that some people have, like other creators, have like uninstalled it and made a big deal out of it, got mad, and they won't touch it and stuff like that. I'm not anywhere near that position. And I've kind of explained this in a different video, but Warhammer 3 to me is really fun. It has things that need to be cleaned up, for sure. Like, I have grievances with certain things in the Souls Race as well. But that said, like, I haven't even felt like installing Warhammer 2. And someone might be like, well, why not, Air? Yeah, it's a great game. Like, Warhammer 2 is good. It's got a few issues itself, too, right? But I played the crap out of Warhammer 2 for like 3+ years. There's enough different in this game, races-wise and other changes and stuff, that I will be able to stay busy and happy with this game because I'm a casual campaign player for the most part. I'll be able to stay busy and happy in this game for quite a while longer. Now, I would like to have Immortal Empires, whatever they're going to call it, right? I want that here right now. Like, really bad. That'd be great. But it's not here, and so we're going to have to learn to live without it, at least for a little while longer. But yeah, no, I don't even feel like installing Warhammer 2. I feel no need to. Like, I'm still having fun in this game. So despite what frustrations I have with this game, and I do have some, they're not, like, making me want to uninstall. If you're a multiplayer player, I could see you being a little frustrated right now. There's not a ton of factions. There's some pretty big balance issues. Cavalry's not hitting right, and they had just fixed that in Warhammer 2. Chariots aren't working quite the way people want, and again, they had just done some work on that kind of stuff late into Warhammer 2. So I could definitely see the frustration. Like, if my main take on Warhammer was multiplayer, I'd probably be a lot more frustrated. Or, as another example, like if I was Legend of Total War and my job is to play these games on stream, and I'm doing that full-time, I could see where he might get frustrated. He plays these games very different than me, right? Different settings, different way to grind, like big Doom stack type armies where everything is, min-maxed, stuff like that. It's just not the way I play. It's not the way I go through the game, and so it just doesn't impact me the same way that it does him. And so... And then here's this, too, which I think is the biggest point. Even if he played exactly the same way as me, he or any other content creator, and they felt differently, that's still fine, too. You know why? Because, feasibly, they bought the game, and they can have their own opinion. So, if people agree with me, great. If they don't, great. Like, I'm perfectly willing. Like, so where a lot of people are like, you should... Don't get this game, uninstall it, Warhammer 2 is better. Alright, sure, fine. I wouldn't say the same thing. I'm going to sit here and enjoy the game regardless of whether other people do. Now, that said, CA needs to be making some updates, and there's some things that they shouldn't have let release like this. And I think some of those are going to get addressed to a degree in this next patch. They'll have a long ways to go. But, you know, it's a good start, at least. And I do think that certainly had an impact on some of the player counts in the game. However, I think the player count in this game, there may be more to it than just CA needing to have patched some things. And who knows, right? Because we don't have a way to find out for sure exactly why each individual person would stop playing a game after launch. But in any case, here I am. Anyway, just wanted to kind of cover that because it's still hot on people's minds. And then we've got the patch coming up soon. Like I said, the patch looks promising. They're making some key changes to the Souls race that I think will make people much happier with the way that plays out. And so I just wanted to bring that up so you all knew about it. All right, so we're about to have another little stack down here. So this would be a good start for another army. Because we've opened up a new front. When we confederated in the last one, we've now got Erengrad, and that'll be good too, because if we hold Erengrad, Prague, and Kislev for long enough, it's also going to unlock the battle where we can get Boris back from the forces of Tzeentch and get him to join our fight. So we definitely want that. In the meantime, Hannibal Barracus is holding up our northeastern flank. You basically have a choke point right here, and you can hold the enemy back. And that's the way I like to play my Kislev campaigns. While you're in the Souls race, I hold the line right here, right? This is our Helm's Deep. So you hold the line between whatever that place is, I can't pronounce it, and Novchozy or whatever. So that's where you hold the line. There's another line that can be held here by Bear Pit, otherwise known as Hell Pit in most people's campaign. And then this is a much more difficult line to hold, but it's the line here from the River Linsk up to Bear Pit, right? So you've got a line through here, and you can hold this line easier whenever you control everything up to this bridgehead. And now they can still, you know, come via sea around you, but it is easier to hold whenever you hold this bridgehead right here. Now I have allies that are blocking it for the time being, and that's also perfectly acceptable. Eventually, usually, this isn't an always, you end up with the ogres on your southwestern line, and the River Links becomes a good place to hold them too. And then, you know, since we control Wolfenburg, that's another great place. So honestly, we're in a pretty great place to just hold our ground, continue to build up, make more money, field more forces, and essentially hold everything until we finish the Souls race, which is the objective of the campaign. Now, I like to play my campaigns past the Souls race because I don't feel like I get enough satisfying map wiping action going on in the Souls race, which is one of the reasons why I had mentioned I think it'd be cool to have a mod that gets rid of it. And so, personally, I think it's fun to play beyond the end of the campaign to get a little bit of sandbox fun in. I'm not going to on this one in particular. We're going to play till we complete the Souls race here, and I'll keep the save file, you know, in case we were to ever want to revisit something and do it. Let's go check Katarin. All right, Tsarina Katarin. She has made her moves, and we are good to end a turn. So yeah, anyway, that's where my mind's at with Warhammer 3. There's a little bit of, you know, what I'm thinking in terms of how we finish this campaign. Hopefully that gives you all some. I want to get to some of your comments as well. I always mean to have these completely open, but I sometimes forget. Oh, I do have it right here. Ryan says, "Hey, Air, I've been a huge fan since Rome 1 days and have never commented before. Current graduate research assistant in classic working. So glad to hear you're back to Rome 2. I will be playing some more Rome 2 soon, I think is what he's referencing. I think when I finish my Follow the Samurai campaign, I want to play some more Rome 2. I like that game. It's one of my favorite historical titles, and I feel pretty comfortable in it. I've spent a lot of time in it. So let's see what he says here. I just wanted to provide a tip for future playthroughs about the Tzeentch realm. I found going for this realm first in the Soul race allows you to complete it faster. It's because the armies you face are small, 4 units in the Lord, so you don't take as many casualties, and you can click the sigil indicator to help guide you where to go. Yeah, the Tzeentch realm, honestly, I've gotten better at it. He's given me some tips here, and essentially, he says it gives you an edge because the other factions focus them early and they'll get kicked out of the realm. So basically, essentially, he says, I know everyone goes Slaanesh or Khorne first because they're easy for the rewards. And honestly, like, here's the thing. Once CA updates the Souls race, I am totally taking a different tack in terms of my casual campaign gameplay. What I'm going to do, strategically speaking, when they make the updates to where when you defeat an enemy faction in front of the Forge of Souls, they lose all their souls and they have to start the race over, my first objective is going to be to go to the Realm of Slaanesh, go in, take a massive bribe, get a ton of money and equipment, and leave. And I'm going to use that to rocket myself ahead of my opponents. And then, yeah, sure, they're going to beat me in the Souls race, probably. But I'm going to get ahead otherwise. And then so if they do beat me in the Souls race, I'll just go park at the Forge of Souls, defeat them one by one. And then I'll finish the Souls race on my own timeline and, you know, just be able to punt them. Whereas currently, if you try to take that strategy, they'll be back every 2 or 3 turns to the Forge of Souls. And you have to just leave your Lord there. And when your Lord gets stuck there, they can't go claim your own souls, right? So when CA makes that upgrade, you will be able to shift our strategy quite a bit in terms of how you approach it. And that's what I would want to do, is just change it to where when it comes to the Souls race, I want to go in and give myself the advantage by using the Realm of Slaanesh. And I'm sure Slaanesh appreciates being used, right? I mean, it's probably a mutual agreement there. So we do that. You rocket yourself ahead, and then you do the Souls race how you please, because now you have a good way to use your battlefield prowess to affect the Souls race, just like you could in the Vortex campaign in Warhammer 2, right? In Warhammer 2, you could use your battlefield prowess to stop the enemy from completing the Vortex race. And that's essentially the same thing that's going to be added here. It'll be executed a little different, but it's essentially going to be the same thing. Let's take a look at Malchozy here. It is pretty well defended. Sapusky is not. Sapuxi, sorry, is not. I'll keep an eye on the stack, but what part of me wants to do is go settle this settlement, because it's spreading corn corruption anywhere anyway, and wreck it, and then hand it to the dwarves, because I want to keep the dwarves alive and keep using them as a buffer state between me and Chaos. When the dwarves are there to help intercept and attract the armies of Chaos, that means they're not coming towards me. Oh, look at this. So Scrag declared war on us, and he's already on his way up here. Look at that, he's got lead belchers.
No higher authority.
If we're going to be fighting a lot of ogres, we definitely need some anti-large in this army. And although snow leopards are a cheaper anti-large option, they're not a very good, like, anti-ogre option. I think they're maybe a little better against single entities when you have enough numbers. They're not great against multi-entities. And so what I want to do is, despite the fact it's going to be a big hit to income, we want to pull in some Warbear Riders. Warbear Riders are substantially powerful against ogres, and will give us some real staying power and hitting power. And then combine that with how many archers I've got, and we're going to be in pretty solid shape.
Only the most skilled may serve.
Let's do Urson's Roar. So that army is off to a good start.
The orthodoxy.
Take a look at our agents. Our agents are not overly busy now, so I'm going to start using them to try and assassinate enemy agents, and then start leveling them up. So let's look at the enemy agents around. This guy is level 15. I'm going to try and pick easy targets to start with. Level 5. Level 8. So this Corn agent is looking like the potentially easiest target. There's other factors that go into that, right? It's not just the level. Let's attempt an assassination. This will help me build experience points for these agents. They can then be put into an army. Oh, whoops, I clicked on the wrong one, but it succeeded nonetheless. That's great for me. You can use this as a way to build up agents prior to embedding them in an army. So like Ursus will be with us eventually. And this way gives me a way to level up some of these characters and be prepared for just such a time. So like, for instance, we're going to be facing a lot of ogres over here, so we'll move that agent that direction. Now at Wolfenburg, we're about to get a lot more income here, so this is great. We're also going to need to defend Wolfenburg. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And we're going to have a rebellion there, so this army will need to help head that off. It's unfortunate the rebellion's coming now. Like a couple turns from now, I'd be able to protect it much better. Right, yeah, we got more ogres moving in towards our territory. We may not have time to finish our Warbear Riders.
My pulks are at your
We need to, though. Okay. Ogres can be a real problem for Kislev if you don't put together the right troops. Like, if you bring the wrong stuff, like a bunch of Cassars or Streltsy, you can get rolled by ogres pretty easy. Like, Kassars, Streltsy, Shock Cavalry, that kind of stuff is going to get you rolled by the ogres. I'm going to take the Allegiance. That could come in handy potentially with Sturlin. So they're kind of right here on my border. Okay. There's a Tzeentch army not far away from us.
Manipulation.
I'm gonna actually roll up here. If I go resettle this, it's gonna take away like half my army, and then that Tzeentch army is gonna come siege me, and they've actually got, you know, a Lord of Change and a few decent units here. So instead, what I'm gonna do is come lay an ambush and try and lure in some Chaos armies, and then we'll hand that settlement over to the dwarves as soon as I get the opportunity. But that opportunity is not now. Now Scrag is moving up on Aarongrad. Aarongrad is gonna be pretty solidly defended at this point.
Kislev's chosen.
I mean, it'll be better once this finishes in a turn. But we've got our army there, so there ain't no way Scrag's rolling us at Aarongrad.
None but Slaanesh may
We've now got the
dominate
defenses in
me.
place here too. So this settlement has a couple of Zargard, which is going to add some substantial tankiness. But you know, still not great here. Let's take this agent. What kind of options do we have? Hinder replenishment's not going to do much good. But we could use it just to try and level up.
Salt the ground.
Salt the ground. Sounds like he's from Carthage.
1,000
That's an
lashes
agent I can
for
get
me.
along with.
Wintertide's
Let's
child.
see, level 15. It's probably not going to be a great chance, but we'll see.
They will fear me.
Come on. Get him.
I trained
Excellent. How great. Now what's really important for whenever you're assassinating too is if you see Nurgle agents, you got to take those out in a big hurry. Nurgle agents will spread plagues, and look, these idiots are rolling down here with plagues. And plagues will be a real problem now. Again, that's why it's good for me to have the Kislev ally buffer states there. They can absorb some of those plagues for us, save me from it, which is great for me, sucks for them. But like I said, great for me. Okay. Doing all right income-wise, considering that we've got several armies.
I stand for Kislev.
We need to go to Tsarina Katarin and continue
None
our
shall
movement
question
down
me.
into the circles
Follow
of
the front.
Slaanesh. Tsarina Katarin having a pretty easy time with the Temptations. See, how fun will it be to use these things in the future, you know, when you don't have to like get stuck in such a pickle with the Souls race. The Realm of Slaanesh is going to be a lot of fun in terms of using it strategically. So I definitely look forward to that.
Born son.
Let's open up Gust of True Flight. That can be handy in the right situation. Oh man, no, I should have used an assassinate thing there. My bad. Got
Maiden
a
of the
Corn agent.
Frost.
We're not going to be able to assassinate him because we successfully did so on the last turn. I'll just
Time to
move and then
march.
move back. And build up this building for gold. That takes us from 100 income to 300. I'd like to do this, but I'm a little bit worried we're going to get attacked and potentially even defeated over the short term there. So let's hold off and not lose our money and wait till it's slightly safer for me to make that move. Ooh, the Tzeentch army fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I will see you all on the battle map as we wreck some idiots who were trying to change my ways. While busy changing the ways, our dear friend Falco here forgot a very key saying, a proverb, maybe even a lame joke of sorts, that in Kislev, bear baits you. And that's exactly what happened to Falco and his Tzeentchian horde here as they attempted to enter the lands of Kislev through the pass. They were indeed ambushed. And as they are being programmed here the way that CA has, they just absolutely tear non-stop for the exit point, which CA, please fix this amongst the many things you need to patch. They don't even attempt to fight, they just run for the exit point. And so, of course, Hannibal Bearcuss is going to take advantage of that. I'm using sleds to lure the enemy in, and right now I'm softening up the barrier on the Exalted, or so on the, what is it, Lord of Change, sorry, not Exalted, Lord of Change. You can see that he is going to melt very quickly in the face of a double line of archers, including ice guards, especially since the barrier was wiped out by the bears. Barrier and bears, yes, I didn't intend that, but it worked out that way. And speaking of bears, Hannibal himself here, guarding the mountain pass. I guess it's actually kind of nice to see Hannibal in the mountain pass, which is also the case in real life, not just make-believe Hannibal Barricus here. So here comes the spawn of Tzeentch, and like I said, all these units are just attempting to flee, and they will go nowhere except for, I would say, to a grave, but a lot of these units aren't really living, so wherever they go, back to the void, whatever it is. Yeah, there's going to be an absolute hail of ice arrows here, and it is going to get very, very bad for the Tzeentchian troops very quickly, but that's the way I like it. I like seeing the demons melted for my Kislevite troops. So here come the sleds for round 2. Now that the single entities are out of the way, I'm going to use the sleds to start crushing infantry. Pink horrors, like I said, nothing's even shooting at this point. They're just all trying to escape. CA really needs to change this because it makes for some very lackluster ambush gameplay. Because the AI is like even easier to beat than they would have been in a standard ambush battle. So not great on their part, but for me it's going to result in a very clean-cut victory over the forces of Tzeentch, led by Falco. And Falco himself, not much of a problem here. You can see all of his troops are already wavering and being destroyed. And Falco is somewhere in the mix here. Once these other ones crumble, I think we'll spot him, because he should be the last one to... Yeah, there he was. I believe that was him up there, so... Yeah, there he is. So there's Falco. He's going to get wrecked. This little wannabe. The only ways that will be changed is his. He's going to be turned back summarily. Alright, well that was a solid victory for us. We got a little bit of extra money. I think I'm going to take the extra cash here too, because we just don't need a lot of replenishment. We're in our own territory. We're not particularly threatened at the moment, so might as well take a little bit of extra change off that one. That is going to be a great pickup for us. Let's get to another comment here quickly. Oh, we got another battle on our hands. Fantastic. So we got a battle in the realm of Slaanesh. But since there's going to be a lot of kills here, I should announce the Killscribe's comments here, which thank you, Killscribe, for always keeping track of the feed. I've made sure and got a heart on here for you and a thumbs up. Thank you. Katarina's Ice Sculptures. Nurgle still leading the way at 48.62. Korn is just behind at 46.32. Ropsman Clan still in third place at 36.09. Bubonic Swarm at 35.95. And Besornling at 35.89. However, I am sure that we are going to be adding quite a few here from Rapturous Excess. I'm not sure if they're on the list yet, but they're about to be. So I will see you on the battlefield. So Herald of Khorne Sophonax had heard that, you know, there was many things to experience, and of course, you know, being a servant of Slaanesh, experiencing all things, both good, bad, and in between, is definitely their goal. Now, it was said that Tsarina Katarin of Kislev was able to provide pain so exquisite and so icy that it's like nothing else. So apparently the host of Slaanesh here were intrigued and decided to attack Tsarina Katarin while she was in the realm of Slaanesh and tempt her with the opportunity to inflict pain and certain death upon the forces of Slaanesh. And of course, Tsarina Katarin is happy to provide it to him, except for the fact that it's a little bit creepy that they want her to inflict the pain, so it's a very strange position to be in. But nonetheless, here they are. The bear sleds for Tsarina Katarin have lured the enemy in successfully. And then, of course, there's Tsarina herself and her heroes stay behind to create the blob so that they can induce the pain the army of Slaanesh came looking for in the first place. So there is the blob, and let the ice magic begin. So I will be dropping some pretty painful magic on this blob. That is going to be a Heart of Winter coming in. There are a few units that broke through into my lines, like this Exalted Seeker Chariot, and there were some Heart Seekers that got a charge in, but most of these units are going to be summarily cut down. You can see here the Streltsy going full Execution Squad while being run over by an Exalted Seeker Chariot that just won't stop moving because it's AI. We've got the Magma Storm going on at the same time as the Heart of Winter, so we're giving the Slaaneshi something that they ought to enjoy, which is the exquisite pain of being frozen to death while also being burned alive and having your skin boiled after it was freeze-dried. So this really ought to be a unique experience that we provided for Slaanesh, and no doubt it will probably get the attention of other Slaaneshi armies who also wish to experience such exquisite pain and suffering at the hands of Tsarina Katarin. And when this is all over, no doubt Tsarina will be suffering nightmares and all kinds of shaking and tremors, thinking about all the disgusting things that went on in the realm of Slaanesh, but one way or the other, as long as she's successful, that's all we need. So that's going to be the end of the forces of Sophonax, who I believe is still out here fighting on, yeah. She hasn't had quite enough pain yet. She's in the process of disintegrating here, but no doubt enjoying it all the while. Just don't get up, it's easier. Right, we got the job done, and we picked up some decent loot. Pick up quite a bit of additional loot, but we do need to replenish, and the quicker the better, because we're in a Chaos realm. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose Salyak Provides. Let's get to another comment here. This one from Kane. He says, I want to see the plagues reduce, or he's quoting me, saying, I want to see the plagues reduce something like 3 turns. And then he says, we're on year 3 of a plague in real life. Yeah, I know we've had a lot of plague in real life, and I understand that they can last a long time. But this is the game, and I hate the way they work in the game. But fair point. Fair point, sir. Thanks for leaving your comment. I do appreciate it. Am I interested in this? No, I do not wish to join their war. Francesco says, hey, Air, great episode. Love being a member. Well, thanks for being a channel member, Francesco. You're awesome. Appreciate the support. He says, love the content as always. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Commenting, Mustafa says, there is a Kislev Steve achievement named literally Bear With Me. Well, that's appropriate, and I'm glad that CA did it. It's both a lame joke and an achievement, which is a nice 2-for-1. Coming from a dad, it is greatly appreciated. Let's see, so one of my characters got wounded over here, so that kind of sucks. That was near Castle Wolfenburg. Oh well, we'll live. Yeah, this ogre army is going to be a little bit of an irritation here. Scrag is near Erengrad, and he's raiding, and there's a camp near Erengrad as well. This army doesn't have a lightning strike capability, and my leadership isn't built up to where they're single entity monsters yet either. They're not mounted on a bear. So it leaves me in kind of an awkward position, honestly. Not exactly sure how I want to approach this situation. I don't want to sally out. This would be very dangerous for me to sally out, because I can't hold a main line long enough to actually shoot these ogres to death, especially not Gorgers, because they move quick. And they're very deadly in melee. If this was like a lot of bulls or something like that, I might take this on. With the Gorgers, it's a little more dangerous. So I'm going to need to deal with that situation. I don't know quite how I want to deal with it yet. It is kind of a dangerous one. I need some more holding power in this army, and I just don't have it. And I mean, anything I bring in quickly is not going to hold well against ogres. Like, I could bring in Cassars. They're going to be terrible against ogres. I could bring in a couple more archers. That won't give me much help. A couple more warbear riders would substantially help. It's a couple more turns, which does kind of stink, but at the same time, like, this army is potentially going to be fighting a lot of ogres, and warbear riders are going to be pretty appropriate. I could bring in a couple of light war sleds. Take a long time to get some Grom action, and Grom costs quite a bit. Although Grom is pretty decent against ogres, it can kill unit models pretty quickly in monstrous infantry, which can be pretty handy. But then it's a liability to protect once you do get into melee. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start recruiting more bears here, as that ultimately would be the most useful thing to me. Let's head up here to Tsarina Katarin. And let's go ahead and rush down to the next... Oh, no, sorry. I'm about to screw up big time here. I need to enter an appropriate stance here. It looks like I'm missing a unit. I think a sled. I think I'm missing a sled. So let's go ahead and try and pull another sled back in, do a little bit of replenishment, and then we'll rush down to the next tier in the realm of Slaanesh. And then as far as Hannibal Bearcast, that was an excellent ambush he pulled off. He's now leveled up, which is always a good thing. We can work on Logistician. Let's do Lightning Strike first, and then Logistician. Actually, let's go back. Get the Renowned and Feared, because that reduces upkeep cost in our army. So, there we go. We'll then finish Lightning Strike at that point. We're going to want Heart of Winter is very good. Heart of Winter is really good against blobs. It's an excellent infantry blob buster. Let's see here. All right, we do have an opportunity to get a war bear mount here, though, so we'll want to do that. So now we've got a war bear for Hannibal, Barricus, and his patriarch, and soon we'll have one for his frost maiden as well. So that's going to be looking quite good. Let's get a couple more comments here, and then I'm going to wrap this episode up for today. Says Valor Omega says, actually you can enter Chaos Rifts and Portal in the Realms of Chaos while in both Forced March and Defensive. Very handy. Yep, and we did it, I believe, in this episode, where I was Forced March through the portals. It is handy when you gotta hurry. You just have to be careful, because whenever you come out on the other end and there's an army waiting on you, I do think there's some downsides to being in the Forced March. I remember exactly right, though. Tenuvane says, plagues aren't as good for Nurgle as you'd expect, since the AI gets minus 30% damage from attrition on the easiest setting, and something like minus 70% on the difficulty I played. It says, edit, and I realized from watching your video and playing that if you pick an agent in an army in a settlement, it will always make the army move to the rift. You need to move the agent from the army and then to the rift if the army is in a settlement. Well, thanks for the heads up. That happened to me a bunch, and it was getting really irritating. And then one more here. Martin says, hello, Air. So much appreciate your content. It's perfect. I have a PS console for gaming, so no Total War for me. I hate it, by the way. But I am watching your videos for 7 years. You're my only source of Total War games, which I love. So much respect and appreciation. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, so anyway, great comments there. Appreciate it, Martin. Appreciate it, everybody else. I will be back with some more content soon. Sorry it's a bit shy at the beginning of this week. Whenever my content is shy, it's not because I hate it, or I'm burned out, or I'm not having a good time, or anything else like that. It's just because I'm very busy with work or life, one of the two. And that was the case, both, actually. So I've been trying to get some work done on my house. I've been having to deal with some different contractors coming in and giving quotes, and then some days I'm in the office, some days I'm not, and then it was also extremely busy. So yeah, if you don't see something from me in a couple days, that's why. I'll make up for it as best I can when I get the chance to record. Like, you'll notice some days I'll upload a couple of videos at a time, so when I can do that, I'll do that to make up for it. HeirofCarthage signing up for now. I will see you all soon with some more content in Total War Warhammer 3.